All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Gamer, where we're going to cook some amazing vegan organic food for you and show you how easy it can be and how good it can be and how healthy it can be. So today we're going to be making some cashew cheese alfreddo. It's amazing if you're a fan of alfredo or cheese sauces or white sauces. This is the sauce for you. It's extremely simple. There is more complicated versions of this, but this is about as easy as it gets. So I'm purposely making it as easy as we can. Can you actually, I need one more thing. Can you put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in that, please? And one ingredient I forgot there. So we got some vegetables today that we're also gonna saute and put next to it. So we're gonna do some squash, some zucchini, and some yellow squash, summer squash. Any squash that you have from the garden or from the store would be great. Okay, sorry. I guess I was looking at the wrong camera there. So anyways, whichever squash that you prefer, you can do all kinds of things with this. You could even do like butternut squash, many different things, okay? So what we're gonna do is first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our pasta going. So I just got some regular spaghetti. You could do fettuccine, you could do spiral's elbow, whatever you want. It just really doesn't matter. So what I do is I crunch them in half. I've already got water boiling that's also got salt in it. So put about 2 tablespoons of salt in there. We're gonna do actually a lot of pasta because if you don't know already, I have 6 kids and then me and my wife, and we all love this meal, so we need a lot of it. So there's not really a recipe to this. I mean, there is a recipe, but it's not a like you have to follow this certain amount. It's kind of to taste. So it's a very easy, I mean, you can't really mess it up going one way or the other. Oops, I didn't break those. Can you give me some tongs, please? Okay, so anyways, got our pasta going into our water, just salt and water, that's it. And then we're gonna boil that, okay? That way those will be ready when it comes time. We're gonna also give them a little bit of a stir because we just put them in the pot. We don't want it to all clump up and stick together. So we're gonna stir them around a little bit so that they don't stay in one big group. Okay, I need actually a plate real fast. Just need a plate to put the utensils on there so they're not just sitting on the counter. Actually, Jessica, can you give me a large spoon too as well, please? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to start on our vegetables that we're going to use, okay? So actually, I guess we'll make the cheese sauce next. So we got cashews. What we did was we took just raw cashews. You don't want like salted or roasted cashews. You just want raw, organic cashews. And we took these and we soaked them in water overnight. You can let them soak for a day or two. You can also, if you don't have time, you can put them into a pot and boil them and just soften them up a little bit right before you use them. Boil them for about 30 minutes or so. I don't prefer that way. I like it to be as raw as possible, and I really enjoy just letting them soak overnight. It's easier. You just got to think ahead, okay? So got our cashews. They've soaked overnight, so they're not really soft, but they blend up to be a little bit smoother. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our blender here, and we're going to add some of our cashews. We're going to do about half of these right here right now. We're going to add some garlic. In this case, there's probably a couple cloves per cup of cashews. But like I said, it's really up to you. The more you like garlic, the more you want to put in there. All right, so we just add our garlic right in there with it, okay? We're gonna also add a little bit of black pepper. Not much. We're gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Again, not too much. And a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and then this right here, we're gonna add some water to that and blend that up so it's smooth. Can you get some more water, please, for the next round? Okay. Never used this blender, so bear with me. I don't actually know what I'm doing. Power. There we go. I think it needs more than that. So we're just going to blend that until it gets real nice and smooth. And that literally, that's it for the sauce. Then we just, you know, add that to the pasta and the vegetables after we cook them. And that's that. Like we could use a little bit more water in there. How's it going, Queen Vegan? Hope you're having a good night. If you haven't seen the show before, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We try to do it every Sunday, not every Sunday, but we're trying to. Pretty soon, though, it will be on schedule more regularly, but we have the show every time. It's all organic, all vegan, so make sure you try some of it, cook some of it. It's good. You actually get a bowl to put the sauce into. We're just a little bit unprepared today, but it's all right. Food's gonna be good. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up some of our vegetables. This is only half the sauce. We're actually gonna do another half to it. But in the meantime, we're gonna get some vegetables chopped up, get those started. So these are actually fresh out of the garden. So before we chop this up, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, especially because the pan was a little warm. Let that cool off just a little bit. We're gonna take our zucchini and our squash, cut the ends off. As with every show we do, every bit of the leftovers from the vegetables we keep and we use for compost and return it to the garden so that we can get those nutrients back and not be very wasteful, especially when you have a veganic garden. Compost is kind of the key to a healthy garden. Thank you. And as for chopping these up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do it a little bit sporadically. I'm just going to kind of make chunks until they get to a certain size. And then I'll probably cut them in half here and there once they're a little larger. It's typically not a good idea also to have the oil get so hot that it will smoke like that. So don't do what you see me doing here. But it's all right because that nice hot cast iron will give a nice sear to them. So at the same time, it will work. No exact pattern that we're trying to follow here. We're just trying to kind of get them into similar size, and we want to have some nice flat sides that are gonna sit flat on the pan so they get nicely seared. I'm gonna keep checking our noodles there too to make sure that we don't really want to stir them the whole time. We want to make sure they're not sticking together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take our our vegetables here. Throw them right into the hot grease here. Now you don't want to stir these a lot, you just want to kind of let them sit in the pan. Still for a little bit till they kind of brown on one side, and then kind of roll them around a little bit and then do the same thing again. We got some fresh tomatoes out of the garden as well. Lots of different shapes and sizes. You could use pretty much any tomato. My favorite though is either a grape tomato or a cherry tomato. So what we're going to do is we don't really want to cut all of these up, but we want to take our larger ones and cut them in half. You don't want to let all that juice out of there. You kind of want, when you bite into the tomatoes, to have that kind of pop of flavor. So we're going to leave a lot of these not chopped in half, a lot of the smaller ones. Also going to check them, see if we got, any caterpillars or anything in there. If they're fresh out of the garden, just kind of look them over a little bit. This one here doesn't look too good, so we're going to cut one side of it off. But see, we got a few of them that are open. They're going to let a little bit of juice in there. And then we got a lot of them that are going to stay whole. We got nice hot grease, so you want to get that nice sear going on. If you see this here, it's starting to get a little bit of browning on it. Excuse me for 1 second here. Okay, so our pasta is almost done. As soon as our pasta is done, we're going to drain our pasta, and then we're going to start cooking the vegetables for the actual pasta in there. So we're actually going to cook this on pretty high heat so that we keep that char going. In the meantime, I'm actually going to move these tomatoes back to the side here. We don't want to put the tomatoes in till last because I don't want to actually add all that water in that sauce, because I want to make sure that those are searing. So we'll start chopping up our vegetables for the pasta. So we got some onions, yellow onions, red onions are good for this as well. Whatever you got though will work. I mean, if you had a white onion, that'd work too. If you watched the show before, you know we like onions and we like garlic here. So if you don't like garlic, like I said, you can put a little less in the cashew cheese. We aren't going to cook it for very long, so it can come out a little hot on the garlic. If you guys don't know, we are 100% organic vegans, so there's very, very little, if any, chemicals in any of our food. There's also no animal byproducts. No animal products, period. So everything can be eaten and enjoyed with a clear conscience, knowing that nothing was harmed or killed or was, nothing was sprayed with chemicals, which in turn harms all the insects, the environment, not to mention you. So again, being that this squash came from our garden, a little bit of it is on the large side. I typically like to have the zucchini and squash be more the size of that the yellow squash was here, about 1.5 inches thick. It's a little more tender, a little more flavorful. Once they get a little larger, they tend to get a little tough, and the flavor changes a little bit. But sometimes they like to hide under the plant and you can't find them. So. Alright, so we're going to take that to be drained, and when that comes back we'll start throwing this stuff in with a little oil, sauteing it up, putting this dish together. So for the mushrooms, you can go small, large, however you like it. In our case, we like them, so I'm going to just half them and then leave it in some large chunks like this. Also today we're going to use fresh bell peppers. You can also use fire roasted bell peppers, or you can roast them yourself if you have a grill or a gas stove, just by putting them over the open flame until it blackens the outside, and then you peel the black part off and you got fire roasted bell peppers. It's a lot better if you do it yourself. The texture is a lot better, but you can also buy them in a jar. Either or, they're both delicious, and also just plain red bell peppers like we're about to use right now work as well. We try to keep things as fresh as we can. I mean, the more fresh that the food is when it hits the pan, or not the pan, if you can eat things raw, it's definitely more healthy, but the more nutrients that are going to be there. So picking it straight from the garden, bringing it in, cooking it up, it's the best possible thing you can do. Plus it makes you feel super positive when you produce something out of your own garden and then are able to provide a meal for yourself or for your family. And this here, you can see this nice star that we're getting there. Oops. That camera's actually the better one for it. There we go. The rest of these mushrooms, like I said, we have a really large family, so we need quite a bit of food every time. So there's no recipe to this. You could put one mushroom in it, you could put no mushrooms in it, you could put one bell pepper. It just really doesn't matter. It's all about what you want. And we'll go over the cheese again. I'm going to Okay. Any audio? There it is. Okay. I don't know what happened. Thank you, Amanda. So maybe this video, it might not, I guess I can add some, like put some typing back over to whatever to say what I'm saying because the audio's out. So sorry about that. So anyways, welcome to Cooking with Gamer. We're gonna start all over. So we're gonna throw this shit out and do this again. No, so anyways, we got our vegetables that are gonna go in our pasta. They're over here, just cooking down a little bit. I'll show you a quick look at these here. So we got some bell peppers, some mushrooms, some onion. And that's going with a little bit of olive oil. We're cooking those down till they get soft. Got our other vegetables here, all seared up and looking nice. You can't really see those, but that pan's too hot to bring over to you. There we go. There we go. Nice and yummy. Got a little soy sauce on them to give them a little flavor. So now we're gonna go back to our sauce mix here. So we already mixed up one half. It's here, but we need another half, and we just don't have a blender big enough. So it's about half cashews. We're gonna put a nice big pile of garlic in there, just a little bit. And we're gonna put some apple cider vinegar. It's actually a key ingredient there. And some olive oil. We're about out, but we got some in the other half, and it's just unhealthy anyways, so we're good. We're gonna add water. We're gonna put the lid on it and let this blend up. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right. Like, needs a little more water. Just in case you're wondering why we don't use the water from the tap, it's because we use reverse osmosis water for all of our cooking. There it goes. Give me a blue plate, please. Should have one around. Keep stirring these vegetables. I'm actually going to turn them up on high so we can get this thing done. So Tyson, I don't know if the audio cut out or not, but if you type in the my name Gamer, you know, the oOllGAMERllOo on YouTube, it'll also bring up videos that we've done in the past, and we'll be adding this one. So if you miss anything, or if you want to see some of the other videos, go check them out over there. And we'll continuously keep adding things to YouTube. You know, about a week after they come out on Twitch, we're actually adding them to the YouTube channel. All right, there we go. I think that sauce is doing pretty good. You know, the worst part about doing this is that all of us are sitting here watching this and smelling this, and we are starving. So at least you get to just watch it and not smell it, because it's driving me crazy. So I'm so hungry right now. So once all those sauces and flavors start getting out of these vegetables and they start to soften up, then what we're going to do is we are going to add our sauce. So we're just going to pour it all in there, right in. By the way, this right here is amazing to dip some bread in. So just like that, doesn't have to be cooked. It's already good to go. So we're gonna stir that in there, and as soon as that gets hot and it starts to simmer, like immediately as it starts to simmer, we're then gonna add the pasta and then our fresh spinach. We wanna leave the spinach till the last minute as well, so it's just as raw as possible. And then we're going to add our pasta and stir it all up and serve it up. Another thing you can do is some fresh parsley. You can add fresh parsley to the meal and just top it with that. It's really good. There we go, the simmer is starting. So we're going to add spinach. It looks like a lot of spinach, but that cooks down quite a lot. And that almost immediately starts to cook down and go in. Now we're going to add our pasta. Get out of there. Alright, so right here at this point, we're going to go ahead and turn this off. Already splashing sauce all over myself. Doesn't even matter if the spinach isn't all the way cooked through and all the way softened up yet. It will as it sits. So have a little patience. I don't know why the other video keeps cutting out. We have other cameras, we just don't have all the stuff to fit them to it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this plated up though, because I've got hungry children that are going crazy wanting some food. And there you have it. Oh, I guess that camera, oh, that is back on. There you go. All right. So again, thank you guys for hanging out. Make sure you try this. Remember that organic is not just a fad. Organic food is about health for you. It's about health for the planet. It's about health for the animals. It's just all the way around. It's better for everybody. Plus, it's more sustainable. And as far as vegan, it's, you know, there's definitely unhealthy vegan diets, but a whole food plant-based diet, all organic, is definitely the best thing you can do for your health as far as food. There's a lot of junk out there. There's a lot of, you know, BS around what's healthy and what's not, but if you do the research, plant-based diet is the way to go. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. So also, it's not only about you, it's about the planet, it's about sustainability, and then it's also about the animals and the other creatures that we share this planet with, you know, and doing no harm. There's more to it than just the health that you gain physically. There's also the mental and the spiritual health. So remember, if you eat vegan, you're going to feel better. The animals are going to feel better. The earth is going to feel better. And not to mention, the food is amazing. It's delicious. It's great. You're not missing anything when you go vegan. Anyways, make sure you check out the YouTube channel. It's the same name here, Gamer at YouTube. And we have other videos. Make sure that you check them out. Keep up with us. If you haven't hit the follow button, make sure you hit the follow button and help us to grow this show and keep producing more. And tonight we're going to have a long stream on Escape from Tarkov, and we're going to give away a copy of Escape from Tarkov. So make sure you tune in and check that out. And thanks for hanging out, and one love. Peace.